There's a weather delay, so the plane's still all wrapped up, so I'm going to shoot a video out here. I was talking to a good friend who's a 777 training captain at a major carrier, and it was a good discussion that's worth repeating. I was talking about some of the comments I've received about, if you get a call from the airlines, you got to jump right away, screw the people who are employing you now. And he said, well, it depends on what kind of pilot you are. Are you an operator or are you an aviator? He says operators, yeah, they got to jump because they're not going to get these opportunities that often. But aviators, they can wait because the aviators will get the call next year and the year before and the year after that. So what's the difference? If you're into sports and you're in basketball, for example, operators are your bench. Or in football, your offensive line versus your running back. Or in hockey, your depth players versus your superstars. So operators, based on what my friend said, he said he can tell when someone comes into the sim, he's got to evaluate them, what kind of pilot they are. So an operator says they're fine, they're safe, they'll get the job done. They're a little hard on the machine, and they don't really have much flow to their procedures, but they're fine. And they'll get 4s out of 5s. Well, they'll never get a 5. 5s are for aviators. Gentle on the machine, and it's something I didn't realize when he mentioned this, very efficient with their movements. There's a line and a flow to everything. Everything's got a gentle touch. They take great pride in what they do. So, who are you going to be? You can be an aviator or an operator. And there's nothing wrong with being an operator. We definitely need those folks. They're safe, they're fine, but they're also going to be vulnerable to getting traded, to use a sports analogy. Whereas if you're an aviator, you get to decide, what your career is going to look like, and it's going to be on your terms. And I can tell an aviator, they say things like, God, last night I was in the middle of the night, I kept thinking, how can I make that approach better? Or they talk about the fine details. Or when I was doing a lot of training, 17 inches of manifold pressure was a big deal to be different from 18 inches on a Cessna 180. The dials tiny, the needles are tiny, but they really pain themselves to get these details right. So, aviator or an operator?